The British royal family might be as careful as heck about their safety, but they are not spared from the injuries. Most of their injuries are subject to their own moves and hobbies. They love horse riding, skiing, and other sports, and while enjoying their favorite pastime, they end up making a mistake that causes them injury. Here are some of the most famous public injuries to notable royals, all caught on camera. 1. Camilla's ankle sprain. Here is the most recent Regal bump. The Queen Consort was seen with a bandage on her right ankle on July 16th during a royal visit to the island of Guernsey in the Channel Islands with her husband, King Charles III. Camilla had sustained a minor ankle sprain the day before during their visit to Jersey, also in the Channel Islands. Despite the injury, the Queen, who appeared as elegant as ever in a royal blue coat dress and low-heeled Chanel pumps, continued with her engagements and greeted the public during a walkabout. The Times of London's royal editor, Kate Mancy, confirmed the injury on X, writing, "Camilla's wearing a bandage on her right foot after spraining her ankle yesterday." 2. Anne's head injury. The royal family's hardest-working member, Princess Anne, temporarily stepped back from her duties for 2 weeks in July to focus on her recovery. She was involved in a horse-related incident at her home, Gatcombe Park, which left her with head injuries and a concussion. As a result, she spent 5 days in a Bristol hospital. Her medical team suggested that the injuries were consistent with a possible impact from a horse's head or legs, though Anne admitted, "I can't remember a single thing about it," during her first engagement after being discharged. At 73, she attended the riding for the Disabled Association's National Championships at Hartpury University and Hartpury College, where she was still seen with a slight bruise under her left eye. Though it was not the first time she suffered an injury. After falling off her horse during a 3-day event for the European Championships in Kiev in 1973, Princess Anne was seen pairing her funky waistcoat with a makeshift sling to support her sprained wrist. 3. King Charles's multiple injuries. The monarch is on top of the list when it comes to injuries. He has had many throughout his life. King Charles suffered an injury during a polo match in 1990, resulting in surgery that was kept relatively quiet at the time. NHS nurse Gail Burbage, who treated the then 42-year-old prince, recalled that Charles arrived at a hospital in Nottingham with a broken elbow after falling from his horse. Burbage mentioned that Charles underwent a 3-hour operation and then stayed in a regular room on the ward. His security team and personal assistants occupied a small bay nearby throughout his week-long recovery. In 2001, the king also fractured a bone in his shoulder after falling off a horse during a fox hunt. At 52 years old, he was thrown to the ground when his horse made an unexpected jump during a ride in Derbyshire, as confirmed by a St. James's Palace spokeswoman. Initially, Charles thought he had dislocated his shoulder due to the awkward fall. However, an X-ray revealed that he had broken a small bone on the edge of his shoulder blade, leading him to wear a sling for a few days as he recovered. The king also suffered an eye injury. While sawing a branch off a tree at Highgrove, the king's Gloucestershire estate, in autumn 2001, he ended up with sawdust in his eye. The result was a scratched cornea, which temporarily affected his vision and necessitated the wearing of a bandage over the injured eye. 4. Late Queen's broken wrist. It's well known that Queen Elizabeth was an avid horse breeder and rider throughout her life, earning numerous prestigious awards for her contributions to the sport. While her advancing years and reported mobility issues likely limited her riding in later years, she enjoyed a lifetime of equestrian pursuits and was fortunate to avoid any serious accidents. As a skilled horsewoman, the Queen experienced only one significant injury while riding on the Sandringham estate in 1994. A palace spokesperson at the time stated, "She was out riding on Saturday as usual when her horse tripped and fell, causing the Queen to fall onto her left wrist. The fracture is to the scaphoid bone." Queen Elizabeth II suffered from back pain over the years and had undergone a knee surgery in 2003. The operation was conducted to remove a torn cartilage from her right knee. However, this did not stop the head of state from resuming her royal engagements. 5. Queen Camilla's broken leg. In 2010, Camilla, the Queen Consort, broke her left leg while hill walking in Scotland. She suffered a twisted fracture of her left fibula after a fall during a walk with her husband, King Charles. Despite doctors advising her to avoid putting weight on the leg, Camilla continued to fulfill her official duties. At the time, she had been staying at Birkhall, King Charles's private residence on the Queen's Balmoral estate. Clarence House released a statement saying, "While hill walking in slippery conditions in Scotland, The Duchess of Cornwall took a tumble and hurt her leg. Consequently, Her Royal Highness is wearing a plaster cast and will be for 6 weeks. 6. Kate Middleton bandaged fingers. Kate Middleton was seen with bandaged fingers while attending a wheelchair rugby game in 2023, where she met with Disability Rugby League players. The 41-year-old Princess of Wales sported a navy polo and jeans for the event, with her injured hand wrapped in white plaster. In a video captured by the Daily Mail, she can be heard saying, "I'm worried about my finger, I'll try." This isn't the first time she's been spotted with injuries on those same fingers. Last month, Middleton was seen wearing band-aids during a visit to Highdown Prison in Surrey. The injury reportedly occurred while she was jumping on a trampoline with her children, Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis. 7. Prince William's broken fingers. Prince William had undergone an operation on a broken finger which he fractured playing rugby at Eton in 1999. The injury occurred before Christmas but had not healed properly. He was admitted to the Derbyshire Royal Infirmary, where he underwent surgery to pin his index finger back into position. Surgeons at the hospital's Pulvertaft hand unit put metal pins and wires in William's hand to stabilize it. William was released from the hospital but would have to wear his hand in a sling for a week. Prince William had stayed in Scotland before travelling to Derbyshire for the surgery. Left untreated, the injury could have caused arthritis in later life. 8. Meghan Markle's plaster. During the royal tour of Australasia back in 2018, the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle, took a morning off to rest, feeling worn out from the packed schedule she and Prince Harry were maintaining. The then 37-year-old Duchess also appeared to have sustained a minor injury, as she was seen with a plaster on the middle finger of her left hand. This was a new development, as Meghan had last been spotted without the plaster a week before when the royal couple visited Melbourne during their 3rd day of engagements. But when she was seen in Australasia, the plaster was clearly visible next to her wedding band, which is crafted from the same piece of Welsh gold used for the Queen's ring and her engagement ring, featuring diamonds from Princess Diana's collection. Kensington Palace did not provide a reason for the plaster, but some royal fans speculated on Twitter that Meghan might have burned her finger while baking, recalling that she had prepared a fruit loaf for farmers in drought-stricken Dubbo at the start of the tour. 9. Prince Harry's toe injury. In his explosive memoir Spare, Prince Harry opened up about a painful experience that even royalty isn't exempt from, a serious injury that made walking a challenge. Harry recounted a visit to Antarctica for a trek, where, just as they were about to begin the arduous journey, he was reminded of a recent mishap. He'd broken his toe during a weekend getaway with friends. Reflecting on that morning, he wrote, "As we began walking, I remembered, oh yeah, my toe's broken. It had happened not long before during a boys' weekend in Norfolk. We drank, smoked, and partied till dawn. Then, while trying to put back together one of the rooms we'd rearranged, I dropped a heavy chair with brass wheels onto my foot." 10. Princess Beatrice's bruised foot. Princess Beatrice was seen sporting a noticeable and painful-looking bruise on the side of her ankle when she attended Lady Gabriella Windsor and the late Thomas Kingston's wedding in Windsor in May 2019. The cause of the injury wasn't disclosed, but it seemed to have occurred just a few days prior to the wedding. Despite the visible bruise, Beatrice attended the event alongside other members of the royal family. Share your thoughts on the nature of injuries that happened to the royals in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more intriguing videos about celebrities. See you in the next video.